The following is an actual play D&D podcast featuring comedians and improvisers in the great state of Vermont. Welcome to Improvised Weapons. Last time on Improvised Weapons.
I am not a mutant, sir. I am a half-orc.
Oh no, are these two going to fight now?
If I bruised your pretty mouth.
Tweet you!
I think we have to assume that wizards have the best drugs.
Who wants to beat a dwarf?
When I say horse, you say puncher. Horse, puncher, horse, puncher.
There is a monkey, that's true.
Yeah, the monkey from Outbreak.
This is like that rich family in The Purge.
Evil purple.
Yes, arguing semantics.
Hi, everyone. Terry repeating himself.
We're going to start this episode off with another cast interview. So here's our very own John to tell you all about your favorite dwarven cleric, Yarfik Stormhammer.
Oh, Yarfik. Yarfik, everyone's favorite cleric. Yarfik Stormhammer is a noble hill dwarf from the clan Stormhammer, who basically got into the priesthood clericdom because he was probably the black sheep of his family, and honestly said some things, did some things that his family was kind of really annoyed by, but also very embarrassed by. So they thought the best way to deal with this, because he is of noble birth, is to send him off to a priesthood, get him out of the way, and let him find his own path. They basically almost disowned him at that point. He's out of sight, out of mind. He's not completely banished, but it's kind of what it is. So he went to a temple outside of Stone's Throw that was for Aaeowyn, the life goddess, and learned a lot there, but being a dwarf, he was very apt to get into drunken fights and drunken things, and kind of anti-life in a lot of ways, but he was very much like trying to make himself better because he wants back in with his family. And in those drunken hazes, Aaeowyn came to him personally and has been telling him many things in many ways that the life respect that the clerics he's been working with kind of doesn't gel with. And he's kind of taking his own path at this point where he understands that life is good and worthwhile, but there's also a dark side to it, and you have to play both sides. So he's more trying to protect people from themselves and from the darkness by dabbling in it if he has to. He's a standard-sized hill dwarf. He's about 4'5", 4'6", stout, really well put together, because his family, they are the Stonebringers. They are the defenders of the realm. So he's built very well. If you look at him, he's got blazing green eyes, really like huge fire red hair and beard. His hair is shaved on the sides, so it's just the top, and it goes back to almost a top knot, and then down in a braid behind his back. Large bushy beard that comes into like a Celtic knotted almost braid in his beard, but he keeps it burnt on the ends because he is banished. He is not of the dwarven races anymore, so it's to show the disrespect. You'll also notice on him, if you see, that he has a tattoo on the side of his head going to his face, which is the Stormhammer crest, which is a giant kind of tribal dragon head where the teeth are coming down over his eyes. It's to delineate dwarves so that each clan knows what clan you're from. It is both a sign of respect and also with him a sign of disgrace. He's also quite gnarled and has, scars from being out in the wild a lot, and he has spent his life now moving away from being a cleric. He's gone out to adventure and be a protector, and so he's kind of on his own. He is respected, but also he also pissed off a lot of clerics as well by being annoying as he usually is.
Anything else we need to know about, or we should know about what he looks like?
Like I said, short, squat, he's, and the big tattoo, I'm trying to think of anything else that could be discerning. His nose is very big and dwarvish, and he's very much just kind of like, he's an imposing presence, even though he's very short.
He wears scale, right?
Scale mail, yeah. He's in red scale mail, which is the crest color of his house, and carries a large shield and a warhammer, though he does prefer the battle axe, but he knows that with a bludgeoning weapon, he can protect better. He won't kill you outright.
Okay, and then what about his holy symbol?
Oh yes, I forgot about this. So most Aaeowyn clerics have a right eye symbol that they take with him because he's going out on his own and because all of his visions came to him in a drunken haze. He carries a silver tankard around on a chain, and it's a regular-sized silver tankard with her eye in the bottom of it. And that's where he gets all his power from. You might see him cast spells out of it, or he gets his courage from it, but that's where it comes from. And he can sling it around, and it's always on him, but it's clanging around on him as he's running around.
So his goal is he wants to get back in with his family. Does he have any goals sort of beyond that?
He wants to both prove to those that have doubted that Aegea is speaking to him and that he is not her paladin, but that there are different ways to think about things. He also wants to, as much as he doesn't understand why people find him annoying, he wants to make up for it and kind of atone for those things, especially because he knows everything he does and everything he's doing, he knows his family is still more pissed off at everything he says and does. But he wants to get back with them. He wants to be back in with the family and show he's worthy.
So you said that Aegea had, sort of visited him and spoken to him about things. What sort of things did she say to him?
She said specifically to him that in order to protect life and let life flourish, you need to be a shield against the dark, but because of that, you need to peer into the darkness and have it take you over. So that was very strange to him because Aegea is life itself. There is a death god, and so it's kind of, yin and yang. She was more preaching that you have to be part of both worlds. And he doesn't know if he's ready to do that yet, because he always just thought I would just be that person in front that would take everything and become that martyr. And instead, now I have to become the enemy that I fear.
Anything else we should know about Yarfik?
That he truly, honestly loves his group that he's with. He met up with them, and they needed a cleric, and they stumbled upon him in a bar drunk, and he said, I'm a cleric, and I'll go with you. But he has really grown to love them all and would sacrifice his life, even if he had to go off on his own, to make sure they're safe.
Would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
Oh, do you want to know about me?
I don't.
Okay. I'm John Van Luling. I am a local improviser and actor in Burlington, and I have been playing D&D for a very long time, and I love that this came up, but you can usually find me either on stage at the Vermont Comedy Club with the Vermont Comedy Club Torco, or I am right now being the MC at the Vermont Lake Monsters Games, which is the local minor league team here, and I also act and perform with Vermont Stage and with Green Mountain Cabaret, the local burlesque troupe. And you can find me online. Both my Instagram and Twitter are at the JV Lexicon, so JVL and then Lexicon. And other than that, you can find us here.
Now on to the show. Let's hit it and crit it.
I quit, you guys.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the next episode of Improvised Weapons. If you hear the disgust in my voice, it's because John just made a terrible joke that we are not going to tell you.
Are you surprised?
And you're better off for that. We are so happy to have you with us. At the end of the last episode, the party had just staged a bar fight. Yarfik had, quote-unquote, won the staged bar fight and was approached...
I think we all won.
Sure, yes, no, it was really... The fans are the ones who won. And Yarfik was approached by a large, or a tall man, calling himself Pallid, who offered him the chance to make some money just for swinging his fists around, which Yarfik accepted. He brought him around out back, used some sort of wand to cast a spell on the outhouse, which opened a portal, and he pushed Yarfik through. Walking through behind him, the portal closed before Cassian could triumphantly dive into the outhouse. And that is where we stand now. The party is separated. Cassian, Aaeowyn, and Olash need to find a way to locate Yarfik. So we pick up with Cassian, Aaeowyn, and Olash. What are you guys doing?
Guys, just before we head off to the potions place, I set that alarm pretty well. Like, I was pretty happy with the way I set that alarm. I don't know where Pallid came from.
You think he was already in the bar?
He must have been, because I set that either he came from the back alley or somewhere else, but I don't know. He couldn't have come through the front door.
Okay. I digest that for a second, and then I stand up on one of the tables and I say, "Attention, everyone! Did anyone see where that tall fellow in the black cloak came from? He left behind his purse, and I need to return it to him."
There's a little bit of silence, and then someone from like back over here in the corner goes, "Is that the loser?"
Well, I like to think it was more of a draw, but yes, I technically did not win that fight earlier.
That wasn't a draw. You got knocked down. You couldn't get up.
I'm simply trying to do a good deed, sir. Let's not waste time worrying about who won and who lost.
And then some woman speaks up and goes, "Which one? Which one are you looking for, dearie?"
The tall, pale fellow in the black cloak.
The tall, pale fellow in the black cloak. He came from upstairs. I remember it very specifically.
1,000 thanks, good woman. Do I have any, like...
I
I've only
slide
been tracking
another
my gold pieces. Do
silver piece into her mashed potato.
She looks up at you and goes, "Thank you."
She's like, "Well, I'm trying to eat."
I go over to the bartender and I... Damn it.
The bard has started playing again.
It's the same bard. He finally got all of his instruments.
He only
back,
knows one song.
but he finally got back up on the stage and
Yeah.
being knocked off
Yeah.
by us.
Okay, I go over to the bartender and I ask, I ask him if that guy like is staying here at because this is an inn, right, as well as a bar.
Yes.
Okay, I ask him if he's staying there and if he knows what room he was in, so I can return his belongings.
So you go up to the bartender and he says, "What do you want?"
God, I say, was that gentleman in the black cloak who just left with my friend? Is he staying here? Does he have a room here?
No.
You don't sound very sure.
I don't think so.
Does anyone else work here?
There's a serving wench.
Want to question her?
It's probably a good way to go. So I go up to her and ask about him. Is he staying here?
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
You were crying a little bit before.
Yeah, I haven't had the best time in this bar, but I'm working through it.
Well, I'm so sorry. We don't want you to have a bad experience. You look like you could use a hug.
I could use a Thank you.
She sets her tray down and she gives you a good hug. I mean, she is a dwarf. So it's like, around the waist.
But there's a lot of muscle and tenderness.
No, it is
And like a little bit of a mustache pressed against.
it is a stout, taut hug. It's a good one. She can't even reach her fingers don't touch around you, but still there's a good grip there.
I mean, Yarfik gives better hugs, but come on.
It's situationally appropriate right now for this to be a really good hug. And she says, "There you go, dearie. There you go. Now what was it that you wanted to know?"
The tall guy in the black cloak. He came from upstairs. Is he staying here? What's his deal?
No, I don't believe he's got a room here, but I mean, there's a common room upstairs as well. I don't know if he was doing anything up there.
All right, you guys want to go check out
Let's
the
head
common
up
room?
to the common room.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Gretchen.
Gretchen. Thank you.
You're very well. What's your name?
Olash.
Olash. Pleasure to meet you, Olash.
I hope to see you again someday.
Olash makes friends for life.
She picks her tray back up and she goes back to work. So you guys go upstairs. Going up the stairs, there's like a small common area with a couple of like lumpy couches, and then there's a hallway going off of it with 6 rooms in it, 3 on either side. There's nobody up there right now. I mean, the doorways are all closed. There may or may not be people in those rooms, but the common room itself is empty.
I guess let's investigate the common room.
Let's just roll in.
Cool.
Roll some investigation.
Oh,
I
wow.
got a 4.
14.
Yep, you got
Your
it.
eyes were shrouded by tears.
Honestly, I was looking and I couldn't see the D20 behind the candle, so I was like, no, you rolled a D10. Just re-roll it.
Nope.
So, sorry, Nat 1,
Nat 1.
14.
14,
4.
and 4. Olash, you are just like beaming from the inside with the glow of Gretchen's hug and the fact that someone was finally nice to you, and you're just walking up the stairs like, you know what?
Someone that doesn't know me.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to be
and
offended.
you're like, this is how you can interact with people who don't know you're famous. This is the greatest feeling in the world. And Cassian, you're coming up, and you're still stewing a little bit about that whole loser comment that guy did to you. It threw you off your game. You didn't expect it. Loser's not a feeling you have. So you're trying to search, but it's like sticking in the back of your brain. It's very distracting. Aaeowyn, though, you are looking around rather eagle-eyed. And you see that like there's a small coffee table. There's nothing on there, but one of the couches definitely has like a depression on it.
This couch is depressed.
I mean, it's a sad-looking couch, but there's clearly a depression on it. So you go and you sort of focus your investigation on that area, and you see that there's an odd amount of dust there, and when you sort of look at it closer,
On the cushion with the depression?
so it's on the cushion and on the floor in
Okay.
front of it, and it's not like there's like a pile of dust that somebody poured there, but it's just that
which most inns would have.
Yes.
So it's very suspicious.
They
that
have
there's not.
dustmen for a reason.
yeah, but it's you notice it specifically because it's incongruous to everything else. Like it's not of a color that looks like it should be there. And you
Is
sort of
the rest of the room pretty well kept?
Yes. The rest of the room is very clean, so it definitely strikes you as odd that this is here at all, much less that the coloring isn't something that you would expect. Given the town, you would expect that it would just be sort of like a, brown from the dirt, or maybe bits of straw because there's a lot of farms in the area. But this is, you pick it up, you sort of roll it between your fingers, and it's got a grit to it like rock, like quarries.
Okay, guys, maybe this is Yarfik speaking through me, but this is not... This dust is not dust from here. This is rock. This is not the correct dust for this sort of bar, right? You'd expect no dust. And look at this room, first of all. And then I explain all that you just explained.
Yeah, you give the Cliff's Notes version.
Give the Cliff's Notes.
Well, maybe we should take a handful of it with us to see if someone recognizes it.
Handful? Okay.
Or a pouch full or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Holding
You
it
just
in your
scoop up
hand.
a handful of dust and walk around. And people are like, did you cremate someone?
Or urns are expensive. Yeah.
I say just for the sake of thoroughness, we should investigate these rooms. Here's what I'm thinking. We don't have time to be stealthy with this, so let's just knock on every door. Any that doesn't answer, Olash, you kick down and we search the room.
Okay.
Does this place
can't
have
wait to see
locks?
you-
I don't know
Oh,
if we need
maybe
to
they
kick anything down.
I just want to see you talk your way into a room. That's going to be so much more fun.
Well, I'm figuring that if it's any of these rooms are occupied, they probably are not the room Pallid was staying with. This guy struck me as a loner.
So there are 6 rooms. You go up to the first one. You want to start on the left side or the right side of the hallway?
Oh, left.
Okay, so you start on the left side of
Always
the
lean
hallway. You knock on the door, and there's no answer.
Can I try and open the door?
Yeah, you can try and open the door.
I do that.
Okay. So you try and open the door, and this one's locked.
Okay, I say, Olash, would you be so kind?
I will be so kind, and I kick the door.
Okay. So roll a strength check.
So 14?
14. So you sort of like the hallway is only about 5 feet wide. So you put your arms on the wall on the other side of you to sort of brace yourself, and you like raise your foot and you kick straight at the door, and it just off the hinges falls down flat, very loud. And from downstairs you hear, "What was that?"
Can I look for like windows or anything, any way out of here that's not the staircase?
Yes, at the end of the hallway there's a window.
I'm
There's
gonna
no
go
windows
over
in
and
the
like
rooms?
look out the window and see if there's if we were to just jump out, would we straight fall down? Is there like a roof? Is there like
It would be a straight fall down. Only about like 13 to 14 feet or so.
Okay.
Each story of the building is like 10 feet.
13 feet? Okay.
So you would
quite
take
the
a
jump.
little bit of damage, but
Yeah.
not a
There's
ton
no
of
windows in
damage.
the room?
Well, she's not in the room. She's not looking in the room.
Yeah.
There is a window in the room as well
I'm not here.
that goes down onto the other side of the building. But so you break down the door. It falls down flat onto the floor, and there's nobody in there. It's pretty Spartan. There's a cot. There is a sort of a chest of drawers and a mirror. And that's it.
Okay, I go to the next one.
Cassian, I think we need to go to the potions place. I really don't know if we should be trashing the inn. Gretchen was so nice.
True.
Oh, suddenly I feel so bad for kicking down the door.
I say, okay, do you agree, Olash? What do we think? Team
I
vote
agree,
here.
and I pick up the door and like rest it.
Okay. How much does a door probably cost?
Let me just compare it to some things.
The DM did not plan for us to pay for a door.
I did not. I mean, it's really just replacing the hinges. The door itself didn't break. So we'll call it. We'll say like 2 gold pieces will cover the damage that you guys did, because they'll have to get a carpenter and.
I'll pay for it.
No, I told you to do it.
I'll pay
We'll
for
split
it.
it. We'll split it. 1 gold piece.
Okay.
How about that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Money bags is going here.
Do you guys come back downstairs?
Find a nice bowl of mashed potatoes and put some gold pieces in the bowl.
On Gretchen's tray.
On Gretchen's tray.
So you guys.
So sorry.
You
Is
guys.
this for the door?
You come back downstairs. The tavern is silent. And every eye is just on you. Like, you can hear every creak of the steps as you step down them, just like a until you make it down to the bottom, and everyone's staring at you.
I'm gonna say, sorry, we thought we heard someone in trouble behind a locked door. We had to bash it down. Turned out to be nothing, but we'll pay for it. And we each hand a gold piece to Gretchen.
Oh,
As
mashed
she's trying to
potatoes.
fiddle with it, the coins fall out of her hand into the mashed potato tray. And then we head out, right? Let's head out.
Yeah, we should
I think
leave.
so.
Okay.
to the
And
main
then
square.
you all leave. As you leave, the lights turn from red back to their normal color.
Yep.
Is the spotlight still on Terry?
The spotlight slowly fades on Terry, but he's
Don't
moving
forget
at this-
Terry peed himself.
Is it still the middle of the night? Like, is the potion shop gonna be open?
It's not the middle of the night. It's
Okay.
like you guys got to the tavern around the time everyone was getting out of work, so it was probably like 6 or 7. So you can head down there and certainly see.
Yeah, I guess let's go.
Let's do it.
Straight to the potion shop.
Potion shop.
So you head down to Fizzweaves, and it's like I said, it's on the town square. It's pretty nice looking, actually. This looks like one of the wealthier establishments in the area. There are lots of flowers in the windows. You can also, looking in, you see various vials and beakers and lots of various colored solutions and the like. And there is movement inside. So trying the door, it is not locked. It opens up. There's a jingle. There's a bell above your heads.
Tingle, tingle.
And as you enter, you don't see exactly where it comes from, but you hear a voice say, "Just one moment, I'll be with you as soon as I can."
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
just look around the shop and see what I see.
You see a lot of potions, a lot of flowers. There are sort of like poultices, salves. There are like ground components for all sorts of things. Lots of stuff. There's a counter / display case that has in it a lot of things you don't recognize, but things that you assume are probably expensive, which is why they're in there. And then there's also a door to a back room. And at this point, from out of the back room comes a gnome. So he's pretty short, but he's dressed very nicely. He's got a robe with sort of like this red and white, or red and yellow scrolling design around the white that's on it. He wears a pointed cap that is just that is like the same color pattern as the robe that he has on. He's got a big bushy mustache and brown hair, and he
His
comes out.
shoes say Travelocity on them.
And his little name tag that says David.
He comes out and he says, "Why, hello everybody. I am Hugo. What can I help you with?"
Hello, Hugo. You're not Hugo Fizzweave, are you? We're looking for Fizzweave.
I am Hugo Fizzweave, the one and only.
Hello. I show him my ORE tattoos.
Excellent. And he says, "It's always good to see a fellow member."
And then we do the whole like the sorority handshake thing. That
Yes.
Question: as a bard, do I have those tattoos?
So whether or not you are a member of the ORE is up to you. Bards are not required to to join.
Okay.
I for sure am because I was at a magic university.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so
But
it's kind of
got all
up
your
to
papers.
you.
Yeah.
That would have to be a decision in your backstory. Like the
Okay.
the bard who trained you and sort of started teaching you arcane magic was a member of the ORE.
Okay.
You at this point may or may not necessarily have joined.
Okay, but and as a bard, it's not like suspicious if I'm not like that's not going to make me like a persona non grata with the ORE if I'm not.
No, it depends on sort of how you act.
Right, I assume
The average bard doesn't necessarily do any spellcasting. The average bard may just play an instrument. The bard, as far as like the class is concerned, does have magical tendencies. A lot of the stuff that you've done so far hasn't been something that's been visible to anybody because it's been a lot of like illusory magic rather. So no one is necessarily aware that you have any arcane prowess.
Okay. But if so, I just am trying to clarify that like if this dude became aware that I was an arcane caster but was not an ORE member, would he have some kind of obligation to like take me down or report me?
He wouldn't necessarily have an obligation to do that. He may decide to do that.
Okay.
You don't know him well enough yet.
Okay. I just want to make sure I like know what the rules are that I'm operating with. I'm going to keep it under my hat for the moment.
While we're doing mechanics on that, clerics are exempt from that, right? Because we're using sacred magic, not...
Anyone that whose magic stems from a divine person or thing is exempt from that. So clerics, paladins, and druids.
Cool. But Olash, all of your magic is you don't have.
All of your magic is fist.
Yeah, fist magic.
All of my
Fist-based and
magic is
tambourine
my
based.
personality.
So instead of illusory magic, you use fistery magic.
Yeah, fist
I'm
magic.
gonna show him my tattoos that I got when I was in my band.
Yeah.
Oh, what are your tattoos?
I actually hadn't thought it through. I need to come up with like some song lyrics. I think that like
Yeah,
from
yeah,
my
yeah.
band
In
that I have
Orcish,
tattooed.
Can you? Are you wearing
yeah,
like a,
of course,
a
we're
tour
famous
t-shirt? Dates and cities.
The next tour is on RaRa.
I say, Fizzweave, my friend, listen, as one ORE member to another, I'm merely a student, but I might need your help. We might. What level of, well, I don't know if I'm not entirely sure how levels work in the ORE, but I don't even know if this is a pertinent question or one that makes sense in the world, but what level of spell caster are you?
I am quite an accomplished mage, good lady. What exactly is it that you need help with?
Well, Cassian...
I can take over if you'd like.
Sure. Well, one of our friends was pushed into a portal over by one of the bars. And
Is that a euphemism?
Sadly, no.
no, actually, no. No, it was a real... right? Cassian, you saw magic...
Yes, it was a shimmering purple energy gateway, and they disappeared inside it, and we need your help reopening it so that we can save our friend.
Wow. What? I mean, I'm sorry that I have to ask this question. Did he deserve it? Like, what were the circumstances?
No, absolutely not. I mean, no, he took what he thought was a perfectly innocent job. The person offered to hire him for a job, and then shoved him into a portal as though he was spiriting him away. We're concerned that he's in danger.
Huh.
I will tell you, we believe foul play is afoot because my friend gave me a way with which to track him, and the man took the ring from me without me knowing. So he definitely does not want us to know where they've gone.
Full disclosure, I'm gonna shoot straight with you, Fizzwip, because you seem like a decent fellow. We are investigating the disappearances in the area at the behest of your lovely mayor, and we believe this to be related.
Oh, okay. Now this is all sort of crystallizing for me.
He looks down at the potion that he was making, and it's now starting to crystallize. He looks back at us.
Yeah, and he's like, well, this is garbage now, and he throws it away. But what you guys are saying definitely is starting to make sense.
I'm so glad.
You know what? I will help you.
Thousand thanks.
I know one of the people that went missing. He used to work for me, and I'd like him back. He was a good man.
What was his name, if I may ask?
Oh, that was Francis.
Francis Killerwallow, that's the one we were looking for. His
yeah.
wife was the one in the salted plum.
We will
I made her cry. I don't know why.
I will do everything in my power to ensure that he is returned safe, and my power is considerable.
Hold on a moment. Why did you make Vera cry?
I don't know. I was just talking to her. She just started crying.
My friend here is a little, can be a little socially insensitive at times, and she implied that Francis might be deceased.
Oh. Well, I don't remember that, but
Trust me.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to assume you're more of a book person.
I lift up my nose from a book. What?
And Olash is surreptitiously looking over.
I remember reading that name on that list.
I love Olash. He's my favorite.
So great.
And he says, well, it's pretty much closing time anyway, so why don't you folks wait outside? Let me just lock up shop, and I'll be right out, and we can go and take a look at this portal.
Fantastic. And I want to get this out of the way right up front so that you don't think we're screwing with you. It was cast on the doorway of an outhouse. I assume as a way to prevent people from inspecting it, because who would think to look for a magical portal in an outhouse, right?
Are you screwing with me?
I swear to Aegea and to all the gods that I am not.
Before we go, could I buy some, healing potions
I'd love
or
to
something
check out
from
any
you?
potions you may have as well.
Yeah, we can do some of that. He says, absolutely. I'd be happy to help. What is it that you're looking for?
Something that'll heal me in battle.
Okay, you're looking for some healing potions.
Yes.
Yeah, let me inspect and see what I've got here.
Read the labels.
I've got some
this
basic
right
potions of healing. Those go for those are 50 gold pieces. I've got it looks like I've got one potion of greater healing. That's 150 gold pieces.
Okay, so the ones that are 50, what is that, how strong is that?
The basic potion of healing is 2d4 plus 4.
2d4 plus 4? Okay, I'll take one of those.
Excellent.
I ask, are there any potions that will restore my compatriot's spellcasting energy should she run low?
That's a good question.
Some sort of arcane recovery.
Yes.
I'm aware of potions that exist for it, but I do not have any. That I know for sure. I make all of what I sell.
Well, I appreciate it anyway.
Do you have any potions that do cool stuff?
Well, I've got a potion of invisibility.
Yes, please.
Guess what it does?
Well, it makes me invisible?
Good guess.
Oh, good. Great.
Is this the sort of invisibility that disappears if you do
You're
anything?
asking me if the invisibility disappears.
The effect
I recognize the
disappears.
irony.
The effect
does the
disappears.
effect cease if one interacts with things too vigorously?
What are you trying to do while you're invisible?
To be perfectly honest, we may have to fight someone.
Okay. So the invisibility potion works the same as the spell invisibility, which I'm sure that you are aware of the
I'm
stipulations
aware
of. So yeah, are you to attack someone, take that kind of action? It would dispel.
Thank you. I am
How much?
temporarily. Oh,
The potion of invisibility?
Yes.
It's that one's not cheap. Those are hard to make.
All right.
I'd be happy to sell it to you.
How not
but
cheap?
You'd be looking at about 280 gold pieces.
Woo! All right.
Sorry, that was my owl.
I am temporarily a bit short on funds, just until I receive my next allowance from my wealthy father across the ocean. The mail has been a bit delayed. Would it be possible to obtain a healing potion on loan until the mayor pays us, or until I receive my shipment of gold? On credit?
Do you have any kind of collateral?
I have...
I'm happy to help, but I'm not a charity.
Sure. I've got a sling or a short sword, if you can make any use of those.
Collateral is generally something that's important to you.
Well,
something that you would come back to get.
Give him the dust. The dust.
I say.
Oh, we should ask him.
How's about if I leave you my mandolin.
Oh.
I value this highly, but I don't particularly need it in combat situations.
Yeah, I think that will do. That's the tool of your trade.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I will take great care with this.
I appreciate it.
And here is a healing potion.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to put this out there just in case it comes up mechanically later. Cassian does also carry a war horn slung around his neck that he can use as an arcane focus for spellcasting.
Okay.
Yes, that was a good idea, Olash. As we walk, I think we're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you finish up the transactions.
Great.
He stows the money.
Yes.
You go outside. He locks up the shop, and you guys start walking over to the tavern. He's just following along behind you.
As we walk, I fish around in my robe's many pockets and find the
What did I do with that dust?
Where's my dust pocket?
Dust pocket. I take out the dust and I show Fizzweave and I say, "Is there anything you can tell me about this?" As we walk over to the salted plum, we found this up in the common room. It just seems very out of place.
He takes a look at it. He like dips his finger into it and he sort of holds it up in front of his face. He's got big round glasses on.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like looking at it, and he
I watch in front of him as we walk so he doesn't trip on anything.
Well, it's it's not the normal kind of dust and dirt you'd find around here.
I knew
that's
it!
for sure. It's
I
Good
told
instincts.
you.
Good instincts.
it almost looks like limestone from the quarries outside of Stoneport.
Limestone outside the quarries of the limestone from the quarries outside Stoneport. Very good.
Fascinating.
Thank you very much, Fizzweave.
Odd that you'd find it here. I mean, it's 2 days travel to Stoneport. I can't imagine anything that would still have that kind of dust on it.
Well, as we know, the
Unless
person
there was a piece of limestone sitting on the couch.
I laugh really loud.
The
Hilarious.
person we're pursuing does have access to teleportation magic, it seems, so could have come quite a distance.
Thank you very much for that, Fizzweave.
Yeah.
Well, judging by my sense of smell, we're at the outhouse.
Yeah. You guys make it back over to the
Cash
Salted
smell.
Plum. Do you walk into the Salted Plum and around, or you just go around the building?
Just go
No need to go
around.
back
There's
in.
no need to go.
We've made quite enough of an impression on that.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Door Smasher!
So you go around the back to the outhouse. There are 2 outhouses there. You point to him at the one that Cassian, you saw the portal in. And he sort of looks it up and down. He goes,
Okay, let's see what we're working with.
and he takes this contraption off of his belt.
Woo!
It looks...
There's that owl again.
It looks... it's a very odd instrument. It looks sort of like a dowsing rod, but it's made of... there are some bits that are wood, there are some bits that are metal, there are like dials on the side of it. It's very strange. It looks like it's somewhat cobbled together. And he says, he sort of sees that you're all looking at it like, what the fuck is this thing? And he goes,
It's of my own design. I understand it looks a little strange. It's I call it the Arcane Diviner.
Ooh,
It
very
allows me
cool.
to detect and identify strange magics, much stronger than just casting an identify spell. I can actually tell what the spell was.
Very, very cool.
Yep,
Hey,
this baby comes in real handy.
just while you're fiddling with that, do you have the ability to sign academic papers?
Aaeowyn, I said I would do it.
Yeah, it's just, I know.
I mean, I do. I'm a card carrying member, but I'd have to witness.
All right. Okay, I guess I'll stick with you, Cassian. It's no, we're nearly there. You promised, right? We're almost at that point.
Once we do this deed and
Okay.
complete our heroism, I will gladly sign onto your paperwork.
Would you sign it, Olash?
so while you guys are
I
bickering,
already offered.
while you guys are bickering, he's fiddling with the dials and the knobs on the side. He
Is that a euphemism?
no, he sort of like shakes it a little bit. He like hits it once just in frustration, and then this like spark of purple comes off the two forks on the end, and he goes,
Aha! Works every time. What you are dealing with here is a heavily modified dimension door spell. Someone out there is quite the cunning manipulator of magical essences.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for the service that you've already done us, Fizzwiv. Now...
you could at least pronounce my name correctly.
Sorry, Weave? I'm terribly sorry.
Fizzweave.
Fizzweave.
Not Fizzwiv.
My apologies. I'm under a bit of stress. We are going to have to go through this portal. Is there anything you can give us that would enable us to open it from the other side?
From over here? What?
Like to get back once we're done.
To get back? I mean, we'll just be in Stone's Throw when we wake, right? I mean, we're assuming this person came from Stone's Throw. If he had this...
Sure, we might just need a quick escape, and also we got to
stone
report
pot.
back to the mayor. I've got to pay him back for the potion.
This is Stone's Throw we're in, right?
You are in Stone's Throw. Stoneport is a larger city on the coast.
Stoneport is a larger city,
where
but it's only a stone's throw away from Stoneport. We're not very far.
And we all met in Stonesport.
And we all met in Stonesport, so
It's just Stoneport.
Stonesport.
Stonesports. Stonesporting goods.
Stonesport is a store in Stoneport where they sell tennis rackets.
There's also Stone Postel.
Yeah.
Packstone, son.
Well, I feel like we'll be able to get back pretty easily if we just...
Fair enough.
But I wouldn't worry about it. Are you able to open it from this side?
I mean, I don't want to seem overmodest, but I believe I can help you out in that respect.
Fantastic. We would very much appreciate it if you could.
If you don't mind.
Oh, not at all. Give me a moment.
He stows the arcane diviner back on his belt, and he sort of he opens the door of the outhouse, and he sort of stands in front of it. He like widens his stance a little bit, plants his feet. And
A gnome widening their stance.
In a public outhouse.
It's very hard to
It's a real
tell.
Larry Craig moment.
He just gets lower.
Yeah.
But he like pushes up his sleeves, he spits in his palms and like claps them together and rubs his hands. And then he just sort of puts his hands out in front of him, similar to what you were doing before, trying to like detect the arcane essences. But there's this sort of crackling blue energy going all up and down his arms, from the tips of his fingertips all the way up to his arms.
That'll be me someday.
As he just sort of focuses, and you can see his face like scrunching up with the effort, and sort of some sweat starts to form on his brow, and the wind picks up around you just a little bit, getting stronger and stronger. His hat blows off, and you see this sort of pale energy start to form in a sheet, starting at the center of the open door of the outhouse and sort of radiating outward, getting stronger and stronger and more opaque, brighter and brighter, until it's filled the entire space, and it's just sort of pulsing. And at that moment, through the frustration and sort of gritted teeth, he says, "It's now or never. You better go through."
Great. I draw my rapier and shield, turn to him and say, "You, sir, are a true hero," and duck into the portal.
And you're adorable.
You also go through?
Yeah.
I go after him and say, "You've got that was so cool. That was so cool." And then I like tink a gold coin up to him. That was really rad. And then I go through the portal, and then I subtract the gold.
Okay. So you all go through, and after you are safely through, he drops his hands, and there's this like sort of hollow noise as the portal dissipates, and he sort of he like stretches, cracks all of his bones and joints, and he says, "Good luck. I think you'll need it."
And then his owl.
And then his owl, chimes in from behind and goes, "Woo!"
He was like, "That was cool."
That is the most enthusiastic.
It's the RaRa. It's a music festival owl.
It's a Coachella owl.
Coach owl.
Yes.
Cheers things off.
It just gets really exciting.
Thank you for listening. As always, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at IWVTcast, and you can check out the other great podcasts from Puma Knife at teampumaknife.com. If you liked what you heard, please review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you heard us. We are sustained by your constant praise, so keep it coming lest we turn into empty, joyless husks. Come on, be a pal. Our theme music is Overworld by Kevin MacLeod. You can check out all of his work at incompetech.com. Tune in next time as Yarfik's predicament unfolds and the rest of the party tries to piece together exactly what's going on. And, if you're good, maybe we'll give you another cast interview. Maybe. We'll see you on the next episode of Improvised Weapons. This has been a Puma Knife production.